Welcome back to Godless and Grounded. Religion, at its core, often presents itself as humble, a way to submit to a higher power, a path to serve, to worship, and to live in awe of something greater. But if we strip away the poetry, the rituals, and the emotional comfort it offers, something else begins to show through. Something many people never question: arrogance. It might sound strange to call religion arrogant, especially when it teaches about humility. But let's take a step back and really think about what religion claims. Most major religions believe that the universe, this vast, mysterious, awe-inspiring universe that stretches out billions of light years, was created with us in mind. Think about that for a second. Out of the hundreds of billions of galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars and likely even more planets, human beings on this one tiny planet are supposedly the central focus of a divine plan. That's not just optimistic, that's arrogant. Why would an all-powerful, all-knowing God create a universe so vast and then spend all his time concerned with what humans eat, who they sleep with, or how they pray? Why would such a God care more about what name we call him than about the suffering of millions who die without ever hearing of him? Why would a supreme being choose to reveal ultimate truths to small tribal communities thousands of years ago and only to them, while ignoring entire civilizations for centuries? Let's take an example. Christianity teaches that humans are created in the image of God, imago Dei. It sounds like a noble idea. But think about what it implies. That out of all living things, animals, insects, plants, bacteria, and so on, we alone carry the image of God. That we are the special ones, the chosen, that the natural world is here for us to use, to dominate. This belief has fueled centuries of environmental exploitation. Forests, oceans, animals, all seen as tools or background scenery in humanity's divine drama. And it's not just Christianity. In Islam, humans are considered the highest of creation, Ashraf al-Makhlukat. In Judaism, the children of Israel are God's chosen people. In Hinduism, the caste system emerged partly from religious texts that claim some people are born purer, closer to the divine, while others are inherently lower. This is not humility, it's hierarchy. Superiority. It's claiming divine favoritism. Religious texts are filled with examples of human-centered thinking. Take Genesis. The entire earth is created in 6 days, with humans as the final, most important step. It reads more like a myth made by humans for humans than a factual account of cosmic creation. Ancient people had no idea how big the universe was, so they naturally imagined a God who built the earth like a house, just for them. Today, we know better. We've sent satellites, telescopes, probes. We've seen no divine throne in the sky, no heaven above the clouds, just endless space. Silence. And yet, many still believe the creator of all of that has a personal relationship with them. This belief that we are special creates a subtle but deep arrogance. It tells people their beliefs are not just personal but the universal truths. That those who disagree are not just wrong, they're lost, blind, or damned. And this leads to a dangerous place: moral superiority. Religious arrogance often hides behind concern. We only want to save your soul, they say. We only want you to know the truth. But think about what that implies. That they have the truth and you don't. That they are enlightened and you are in darkness. That their book, their prophet, their God is correct and everyone else is not just mistaken, but sinful. Let's look at history. Religious arrogance has justified crusades, jihads, inquisitions, witch hunts, forced conversions, colonialism, and genocide. Christian missionaries often believed they were doing God's work while erasing indigenous cultures. Muslim rulers spread their empire through conquest, often forcing others to submit, literally, to the will of God. In India, religious pride justified discrimination for centuries. In each case, the pattern is the same. We know the truth, you don't. So we're allowed, even commanded, to change you. This isn't humility. This is arrogance dressed up in robes and rituals. Even the idea of heaven and hell shows this. Imagine believing that you, by following a certain faith, will enjoy eternal bliss, while others who may be kinder, wiser, or more generous, but who don't believe what you believe will be tortured forever. What kind of humility is that? And let's not forget prayer. Millions of people pray for jobs, healing, rain, victory in sports. Imagine the mindset behind that. That the creator of the universe will change the laws of nature for you. That he'll stop someone else from winning just so you can. That he'll cure your illness while letting thousands of others die. That level of self-importance isn't just delusional, it's arrogant. Religion also claims moral authority. Many believers think that without religion, people can't be good. But that, again, is arrogance. It's saying, only we have the roadmap to goodness. Yet we know this isn't true. Atheists donate, volunteer, raise families, help strangers. Morality is not exclusive to the religious. In fact, history is filled with religious people doing immoral things in the name of faith. Burning heretics, silencing scientists, stoning people, child abuse scandals, cover-ups. Still, religion says, we are the light. But light doesn't burn people. The structure of religion itself often demands obedience, not questions. In many traditions, doubting is considered sinful. But why would truth fear doubt? Why would a perfect God be offended by honest questions? The idea that challenging religious ideas is dangerous comes from fear. Fear that those ideas can't hold up. But the confident don't fear questions. Only the insecure do. And when we say God works in mysterious ways, what we really mean is, I don't know, but I won't admit it. That's not humility. That's pretending to know something we don't. A truly humble person says, I don't know. Religion often replaces that humility with certainty. And that's the heart of the problem, pretending to know the unknowable. Let's go further. Religious leaders often claim to speak on behalf of God. Popes, imams, priests, gurus. They claim divine authority. They claim access to sacred knowledge. But what do they really have? Ancient texts, oral traditions, and interpretations, all made by humans. They don't have divine phone lines. They don't have godly credentials. They have beliefs. And yet, they speak with authority, build empires, gain wealth and power. That's not humility. That's human ambition wrapped in religious language. Even the concept of prophecy shows arrogance. Prophets claim they are chosen by God to deliver messages. But ask yourself, how do you know they were? Because they said so? Because a book says so? Every religion has prophets. They contradict each other. So who's right? And more importantly, how can we tell? Believing your prophet is right and everyone else's is false without evidence is not humility. It's ego. Religion teaches people to believe more than to think, to follow more than to question. That's not how humility works. Humility means being open to being wrong. It means admitting we don't have all the answers. But religion often claims to have all the answers. About life, death, morality, the universe. That's not just intellectually dishonest, it's arrogant. And consider this. Many religious people will reject mountains of scientific evidence in favor of ancient stories. Evolution, the Big Bang, neuroscience, archaeology, all discarded if they contradict scripture. That's not truth-seeking. That's confirmation bias. That's saying, I already know the truth, and nothing you show me can change that. That mindset isn't humble. It's stubborn pride disguised as faith. Even the way some believers talk to non-believers reveals this. I'll pray for you. You just haven't found God yet. You're angry at God. Each of these statements assumes superiority. It assumes that the other person is broken, lost, or ignorant, simply because they don't share the same beliefs. That's not compassion. It's condescension. Let's remember, most religious people follow the religion of their birth. A Christian born in Pakistan would likely be Muslim. A Muslim born in Utah might be Mormon. Religious belief is mostly geography, not truth. But religion rarely admits this. Instead, it claims, we are right and everyone else is wrong. That kind of thinking doesn't come from humility. It comes from human ego. And here's the irony. Many of the people who claim to be humble before God are often the most unwilling to admit doubt, change their views, or accept new ideas. True humility isn't bowing before an invisible deity. It's recognizing our ignorance. It's being okay with not having all the answers. It's accepting that we are a small, temporary part of a vast, indifferent universe, not the center of it. Religion, for many, is a comfort. It provides meaning, community, rituals, and purpose. And those things are real, emotional needs. But we can meet those needs without pretending to have divine truth. We can love without being told how. We can wonder without claiming certainty. We can be moral without being superior. So the next time someone tells you that religion is humble, remember what it claims. It claims to speak for God, to know the ultimate truth, to judge who is saved and who is damned, to define morality, the universe, and the human soul. If that's not arrogance, what is?